I M24 feel completely incompatible with girlfriend F20 because of her diet. Can people be incompatible solely because of food restrictions? Story 1. I M24 love food. It's how I celebrate occasions, what I travel for, and why I maintain a relatively healthy lifestyle. At the same time, I fully understand that people have their own dietary restrictions, which I respect and accommodate. I'm happy to accommodate my vegetarian friends with vegetarian food, my Muslim friends with halal food, and my Buddhist friends with no beef. I figured it would be no different when I started dating F20, but it's become an issue. Z doesn't eat bread, rice or noodles, not just gluten-free, just in general, any red meat, dairy, potatoes, sweet potatoes, too much oil, spices, added sugars, artificial sweeteners, anything with flour, anything you would consider unhealthy, frozen food, or if the food has been sitting in the fridge for a couple of days. She pretty much survives on steamed chicken, raw seafood, steamed vegetables, and fruits. No rice or noodles means that basically all Chinese, Japanese, and Korean food is out. No potatoes, rice, bread, or pasta means no Italian, French, or American foods. No flour or spices means no South Asian food. No sugar, artificial sweetener, and dairy means we can't get ice cream or even frozen yogurt. No flour means no cake, and no sugar or artificial sweeteners means basically no dessert at all. She has refused to eat stir-fried vegetables because they were cooked with too much oil and refused to eat acai because there was peanut butter drizzled on top. The thing is, she doesn't control my diet at all. I can eat what I want in my own time, and she doesn't force her beliefs on me. If we end up going to a place where there aren't any options she deems edible, she'll just drink water and watch me eat. It's incredibly difficult finding a place that she will eat at, because she'll refuse to eat if the food contravenes her self-imposed restrictions in the slightest. I have tried vegan and vegetarian restaurants, but more often than not she'll just say that she doesn't like anything on the menu. The easiest way to get her to eat is to let her choose the restaurant, and we usually end up getting expensive seafood at higher-end restaurants. I don't mind the price because I make good money, but she's picky about the restaurant too. For example, when she wanted to eat Greek food, it had to be this particular expensive place and not the dozen or so other options I suggested. I'm not suggesting that she is using me for the money, because she is perfectly content sitting and talking with no food while I eat something at a restaurant that she doesn't deem worthy. But as someone who loves food, who actively travels to try new cuisines, I'm sad that I can't share food experiences with my partner. I loved cooking for my other partners, making them cookies or cakes, or just a nice home-cooked meal. But unless it's steamed chicken, vegetables, or some form of raw or low-calorie seafood, she just won't eat it. I feel like I'm insane for thinking that we're incompatible because of food restrictions alone, because other than this one issue, things are pretty great. Can people be incompatible based solely on dietary restriction? Our advice: yes, dietary restrictions can definitely impact compatibility in a relationship, especially if they limit shared experiences like dining out or cooking together. It's important to communicate openly with your partner about how these restrictions affect you and find a compromise that works for both of you. If you're unable to find common ground and it significantly affects your happiness in the relationship, it's okay to reassess compatibility. First comment: so, she'll eat some things but only at high-end expensive restaurants? She'll eat Greek food but only at high-end Greek restaurants? Maybe it's an eating disorder, maybe not. But her pickiness being that she only likes high-end food might be an issue. Don't get me wrong, I love steak. But I know that eating a great steak in an expensive restaurant is very expensive, so I might choose a different restaurant, cook at home, or get a burger at a mid-range pub. I-60SF went on a date with a guy a few years ago. He kept complaining about the first two places I chose, and then went into a whole discussion with the waiter in the third and final place. He wanted everything steamed with no spices, and then he shoveled everything in his mouth in 2 seconds. I didn't like the guy anyway, but I kept thinking to myself, do you really want to spend the rest of your life with this guy who doesn't enjoy regular spices or trying out different cuisines and has horrible table manners? Second comment: Balbit. My boyfriend literally eats grilled chicken or breaded chicken only, steak or salmon. He has some food allergies and he sticks with plain food. When we first started dating, it was difficult because I love food. I love trying food from everywhere. We try to find places that will cater to the both of us. I would want tacos, so he would go with me to get tacos and would get a drink while I eat my food. It was awkward AF when we started doing that, but I got more comfortable with him sitting there, and I'm enjoying the food I'm craving. If you want it to work, she can always get a shrimp dish without the noodles, or chicken and veggies for Chinese or Korean. I saw a few people mentioned an eating disorder, so definitely check on that, but those are some ways we eat. I'm frustrated sometimes, but my brother or friends would dine with me in the food adventures. It's a different experience when you share it with your so. Story 2. My boyfriend's daughter 18F threatened to kill me 40F if I don't break up with him 42M. Should I do what she says? Hi everybody, I need advice as I'm in a bit of a crisis situation. Long story short, my boyfriend divorced his wife 3 years ago due to infidelity. She chose to run off with her affair partner and abandon the family. My boyfriend got full custody of their daughter. From what he told me, the daughter was never really super close with her mom due to personality differences. Mom was quite a cold person, and the divorce and everything related to it made the daughter absolutely hate her mom. She sees her as an immoral traitor. The mom and daughter don't keep in touch at all. My boyfriend and I are old friends who reconnected last year. Neither of us were looking for love, it just happened. We decided that he'll only introduce me to his daughter once we're at least partially sure that it's a serious long-term relationship. On Friday night, we felt it was the right time and all three of us went out to have dinner. The daughter was friendly, but visibly irritated and passive-aggressive. At this point, I already felt something was brewing up, to be honest. Yesterday afternoon, I hear someone ringing my apartment door. I look, and it's my boyfriend's daughter. 2 questions pop up in my head. Who does she know where I live, and what does she want? I felt very nervous, but I opened the door and let her in. Inside, she says that we have some scores to settle and make some things clear. She said that she knows where I live because while we were at the restaurant, she texted some of her friends and asked them to come over and wait until we were done with dinner so that they can trail my car. She said that, unlike her naive dad, she'll defend her territory and stomp any cockroach that comes around, such as a random bitch like me. She told me that I either end it with her dad or she ends me. She told me that her male friends would be more than glad to have their way with me and then make me disappear. So if I know what's best for me, I'll just go out swiftly and quietly. She was extremely intimidating. Before I even got to think of a response, since I was so shocked, she said that's all she wanted to tell me and the rest is my choice. Have a good day, and then she left. I haven't told anyone about this. I'm still processing it all cause I'm so dumbfounded. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared since she already knows where I live and didn't seem to just joke around. I haven't even been able to sleep last night. A part of me tells me to just break up to avoid all of this trouble in my life. Should I just do what she said? Any advice is welcome. Thank you in advance. Our advice. Your safety is paramount. Take the threat seriously and consider involving law enforcement if necessary. Talk to your boyfriend about what happened and assess the situation together. Seek support from trusted friends or professionals as you navigate this difficult situation. Consider legal options and set clear boundaries for your own safety and well-being. First comment. Yes, you should do what she said. Not because she said so. She is 18 years old and still has a lot to learn, just not at your expense, but because this relationship can never work. How do you think it's going to work with your BF now that you've been threatened by his daughter? You tell him, he has a talk with her, she apologizes, and everyone lives happily ever after? That is not going to happen. She is a danger to you. You can stay with your BF of less than a year to prove some kind of point that she cannot control your life. Of course, you may never sleep again, and every young man who comes near you will look like a threat. You'll be waiting to be raped and killed, and every time you're around her and she lives with your BF, you will be uncomfortable and scared. That sounds like the perfect relationship, doesn't it? No, this relationship is over. For you. But you do need to tell your STB ex-boyfriend what his daughter did and said, how she used her friends to follow you home so she could get your address on the first night she met you. Then she came to your home and threatened to have you raped and killed if you did not end things with her dad. That she was absolutely not joking or just trying to scare you off. She was dead serious. Make it clear to him that your relationship with him is over. But you are telling him about his daughter for 2 reasons. 1, he will date, or already has dated, other women, and this is going to keep happening. He needs to know exactly why his relationships don't work out. And, most important, 2, his daughter needs very serious professional help. What she did is not normal. No doubt she is F20 up because of the things her mom has done, but she needs to see a psychologist. She can't just go around threatening people with rape and murder because she doesn't want her dad to date anyone. If he loves her, instead of getting mad at her, he will help her. Make sure he knows the relationship with you is over. No, I'll have a talk with her. No, we can work this out. Nothing like that. You are not about to risk your safety and your life over a relationship that may or may not work out. You and he are done. He needs to now deal with his mentally ill daughter. Second comment. Des. Break up with the dad. Tell him what happened. Don't tell him you're going to the police. Go to the police, buy a gun and get comfy with your knives. Rearrange your house in a way that you'd be able to navigate well in the dark, but someone entering through the front door wouldn't. Keep your curtains and windows blocked or closed. ETAK if you'll want to press charges, but that would be ideal. She needs someone to genuinely put her in place of the real world and urge her to accept that her father was taken advantage of by the woman he trusted, because that woman decided to use him. To a degree, yes, the world is filled with prey and predators. But the mother's choice to a use of her family was hers, not his. Tell your male friends what happened if you have ones you trust. Ideally, some of them will understand what's happening and offer support. She sounds like she's gang-affiliated, or is really running with a rough crowd if her threats aren't empty. An empty threat is a dead one after all.